group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below. And seeing as this is 3MB, we are proudly sponsored by VMB Auto Centres at Handsworth. They're still offering that amazing deal of 50% off your MOT when you let them know that you're a Rambler. Thank you to VMB Auto Centres for their continued support.
Hey, subscribe to Blaze Ramble, man.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 3 Mardy Blades. Hey, subscribe to the Blades Ramble, man. How cool is Gyro Readable, by the way? That's made me feel better even already, to be fair, because we have every right to be Mardy, I think, this evening. I haven't spoken... Well, I have to Paul, that's a lie. I haven't spoken directly to Dave about how he's feeling. So we'll be hearing Dave's opinion for the first time. I'll see how deep Paul wants to go into how he feels about things. But again, he's more positive than I am. So without any further ado, let's get the boys in. First up, it's Paul, the man, Mountain.
This is the view from the mountain with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man, mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
Hey up, my mate. How's it going?
Here we are. Here we are with that resigned look on our face.
Yeah.
It's going to take a bit to turn it around now, but we'll keep going. Wilder won't let us not, so let's keep going.
We will. Let's get the main man in. It's Dave the Nose.
Dave the knows, he really knows where the wind, I know whispers blow. Smelly brave, he's in the know. Dave the knows, steals the show.
Davey boy, how's it going, pal?
No words, just a noise.
Just the noise. Just the noise. I'm just having a quick look, actually. Oh, right, yeah. I got an email from somebody. I'm not going to name names, obviously. It's just to enlighten the fact that nobody knows the words to your intro song. I got an email on the 3rd of March saying, hi, Jimmy. I hope you're well. Could you settle a dispute with my mate? The word that follows smelly, what is it? My mate thinks it's bra, and I think it's breath. Smelly bra or smelly breath? It's actually, and I had to reply saying, hi, name. It's actually smelling great. He's in the know. But there you go. So not only did Maury say it was smelly brain, which I think has stuck with loads of people, we've also got smelly bra and smelly breath.
Been called worse.
True. But, you know, you've done something about both those things, haven't you? So what can,
I've tried.
What can you do?
Best as you can.
I didn't plan on saying that, but when I was listening to the song, it just reminded me of the email that I received. So, listen, we're done, aren't we, lads?
We're not done until we're mathematically done. But
Cop out.
No. I've been thinking about this because I know you're going to ask me whether it's done, and I've got a feeling you're going to also ask. You're going to sing to me, okay?
I've got a feeling.
You're going to ask whether we should start planning for next season,
as the title dictates underneath your face,
right? And I think. We can end the show super quick, super early on this. We can all have an early bath. This is about setting culture. And the culture is you go out to win the next game, and then you go out to win the next game, and then you go out to win the next game. And therefore, you do what is the right thing to do in order to win the next game. You don't compromise thinking, oh, well, let's be clever and start doing this for next season or getting this player in. You create a culture that goes into the summer as a winning team. And if you don't quite make the playoffs, you're still going in as a winning team. And you follow that through the summer.
Okay.
Next season.
We're not going to make the playoffs, in my opinion. I think it's very unlikely that we do now. We'd have to win at least 8 of the remaining 10 games, I would say, to even give ourselves a fighting chance, which is very unlikely, not impossible, like you say, not mathematically impossible. So the question has been not do we throw games or anything like that, but do we start to bleed players in that we think will become more important next season? Do we, for example, and there's a strong reason for leaving Adam Davis in goal, but there's also another argument now, if you think the playoffs aren't achievable, for putting Luke Faxon in goal for a run of games and seeing what he's made of. There's different arguments all over the field, really, isn't there? If we think that there's a chance Gus Hamer leaves in the summer, or a strong chance, I would probably say, do we look to what formation we're going to set up as next year and start playing in that in terms of a 4-4-2, which I think is much more likely? Obviously, it'll depend on recruitment, but on this basis, would you play Cannon and Campbell together more often, for example, or would you play Campbell and Bamford, or Cannon and Bamford? Do you try and get partnerships going? Gyro and Peck, are they sticking together, or are we rotating to see what Arblaster's like alongside Rothwell and things like that? We're not talking about throwing games, Dave, or anything like that. Obviously, you wouldn't use it as an experiment.
No, you pick those players if they're the right thing to do for that game.
Okay.
Don't pick them just to go, well, let's just see what they look like together. Pick the right players for the game. Keep the competition for places high. Keep them pushing each other. And like I said, it's culture and mentality. And that's what we need to make sure that we continue with. It's not about creating that, because I do think we've got that, despite the performance on Saturday. I do think we've got that within the squad. We just need to make sure that we're continuing to drive those standards forward.
Paul?
I think it's. I think we're always quite reactive, aren't we? After what's happened at the weekend. So if we'd have beat West Brom 4, we'd all be sat here going, oh, like that. And the truth is, it's a point. It's a point, and it's an opportunity missed, in my opinion.
Agreed.
To take all 3, and I think we've been sizing up this run, haven't we? And I've been saying it all year. We're sizing up a run of. I said, if we win 4 on the bounce, 5 on the bounce, 6 on the bounce. Now you're talking about 8 out of 10. And that run's just never really materialised. We've had performances that have made us believe this season. And unfortunately, I think the first half on Saturday was as bad a performance as... I say bad. I mean, a uninspiring performance, in that we did not look like a side who had intent to go and win a football match. I think it was quite alarming how much we missed Sariki on the right-hand side. I think that down that right with Brooks, they have been our primary outlet for attacking play. And it was quite alarming for me how much we missed him. And it makes me think we might need some similar sorts of players if these players are going to be offered to or leave and go to other places, because it was the first half showed a real lack of bravery, a real lack of desire for me to go out and win a football match against which were a side who were reasonably well organised but offered very, very little going the other way. And I think that as long as it was 1 and they scored the goal for us, because we wouldn't have scored it if he hadn't put it through his own net, by the way. Yeah. A side that we've got to go and win if we had any real opportunity to go and win a string of games, which again we keep saying it. We'll probably be saying it with 5 or 6 to go. I don't think Chris will throw it in, and I don't think playing your other players is throwing it in. But I think we've got to be prepared now to accept that it doesn't look very, very likely at all. Yes, we've still got a lot of games against sides in and around us, and it all really depends on the teams in 6th, 7th, 8th who are they hitting the straps. Because if they win 2 or 3 on the bounce now and we only win 1, then it is over for sure. I still think that Wrexham game's a biggie. I think that for us to have any belief in going up, we'd have to win the 3 over the next fortnight. We'd have to win those for me to even have a to come on and say
which is Norwich away, Birmingham away, and Wrexham at home.
again, I don't think any of that is way past what we've got, but the inconsistency that this group have shown,
I agree,
makes me think that we are not going to produce 3 top performances, beat all 3, and go on, because we just haven't been able to do that. We've been decent, okay, poor, excellent, average. We've been backward and forward all season, like a lot of teams in the division. Obviously, we've improved the second half of the season. We've got good players. I think we're trying to almost blood too many, and it just doesn't look like Hoover, for me, didn't look like a worthy replacement for Sariki. And frankly, I'd have played Sariki. I know he was okay at QPR, but I just feel like we just missed Sariki down that right hand side. As soon as he comes on, I think we already look a better team.
I agree. I do think that's a little bit revisionist, if I'm honest. Not necessarily from you, because I'm not saying you didn't think that from the start, but I've heard that an awful lot from a lot of Blades, and both myself and Lee were saying on Countdown to Kickoff, when we saw the lineup, it wasn't like, oh my God, it was a surprise that Sariki weren't back in. But then you think, well, fair enough, Hoover should do okay. And it wasn't like, oh my God, what a drop-off, which we've seen with some players in the past where we felt that when we saw the lineup. Hoover had a bad game, as did a lot of Sheffield United players. But and in hindsight now, it's easy to say Sariki should have started. But it's a 3-game week. Maybe that came into it. Maybe he thought that Hoover were going to be good enough to get through what is seen to be or perceived as the easiest game of the 3, because that's, you look at league placement, the fact that it's a home game as well. So Sariki might have been planned to go 70 minutes against Norwich, 90 minutes against Birmingham, and it's a squad game. If you're not going to play Hoover, what's the point in bringing him in? You can't just push your first 11 all the time, can you? So,
Jim, I'm not saying, oh, Wilder got it all wrong or whatever. I'm not trying to say that, and I don't think it is revisionist, because I've been saying that Brooks and Sariki have been our principal threat for a long time, and I still think that. And I think when you produce a performance like that, and you've got a player like him sat there, fit, good to go.
How do you know?
I think, well, because he came on. Like,
yeah, but that don't.
If he's not fit, why would he come on?
Well, Tom Davies has come on this season.
I think he's punishing him for what he did the other day at Bramall Lane, and I think that it fits that Hoover needs game time. I think when we've watched that game and created almost nothing throughout the entire game, and for me, they've been our best threat.
I agree with you on that. I
don't think it's out of order and revisionist to say that. I think we missed something with Sariki not being on the pitch, and I think the fact he got on says to me that he's fit, Jim. I think he's rotating his team, and I think Hoover did okay at QPR. He was fine. It was all right. But for me, Sariki and Brooks have been the combination for me this season, where in the past I've looked at people like Gus and O'Hare, and there's Tyrese Campbell and O'Hare and Gus. They were for me last year. They were the 3 that were unlocking the door for us. I think it's been Sariki and Brooks in the past sort of 3 or 4 months, and I think we missed it terribly on Saturday. I don't think that's. There's nothing wrong in saying that.
I don't disagree with you, and I don't want that to get misinterpreted. I think Sariki should be starting almost every game when he's fit, but what I'm saying is it's not like an, oh my God, what a drop-off when you see Hoover's name instead of Sariki. I would always pick Sariki in front of him, but I didn't hear a lot of panic within the fan base that, like when we've seen Chong's in instead of Hamer and stuff like that, people are like, oh no, what's gone on there? There must be an injury, there must be something. There wasn't any of that. Hoover is a suitable replacement, and he just had a bad game. And he doesn't offer the same link-up play with Brooks by any means that Sariki has developed all season and through the youth teams as well, to be fair. So I don't disagree with you that Sariki is a better option, because I think he is. But I don't think it's why on earth did he pick Hoover? Because I think that's easy to say after the fact, really. Just my opinion.
No, yeah, and again, when I reflect on the game, when I reflect on the lack of creativity, when I look at it, yeah, you might say it's an analysis of the performance, because nobody turned up, did they? Let's face it, no one turned up. So none of the big players turned up on Saturday, and yeah, and I just think them two together have been a massive outlet for us this year, particularly a side that's going to sit deep and absorb. And they were trying to waste time after 5-10 minutes. And as long as it's one, there's always an opportunity for them to step in and get that equaliser. I thought Rothwell's performance was a little bit alarming as well, I have to say.
Me too.
I think that when he strides into that space in front of the back four, I feel like there's other players who might have been able to step in there and block that shot. I think he had all day to size it up. It was a great stride, don't get me wrong, and I think West Brom were worthy of the point based on the fact that I don't think we'd done enough to win the game. So I wasn't overly disappointed with the result. I think it was fairly fair. I think hopefully Blades fans would see that based on what we'd seen over the course of the 90 minutes. I thought the first half was lackluster and lacked bravery, and there was very little impetus on us to be the better side against the side that have struggled and really did struggle and have struggled this season. So I think it just says to us we might have to just not keep torturing ourselves by thinking about those performances where we've turned teams over, and just put it down to a bit of a lack of consistency. And like you say, maybe look at what's happening for next season. If it's mathematically impossible, Jim, with 2 or 3 games to go, I'm not entirely against putting in players for getting their debut in matches that are not dead rubbers, because there's always something. It feels like it's going to go all the way, the Championship. But I don't think that if it's in the interest of the club and it's in the interest to blood Luke Faxon, to rest people who aren't going to be here next year, so be it. It's the manager's prerogative to do that.
Dave, what's your thoughts on, before we come on to, I suppose, Norwich and the rest of the season, what's your thoughts on performance from Saturday?
I think it was a lack of risk taking and bravery against a team who had no intention to come and press us, no real intention to put us under any sort of pressure. We're quite happy to sit in.
Yeah.
We kept coming inside. They made it compact there, so there wasn't a lot of room. And typically we ended up going sideways or backwards because I think we just weren't moving the ball quick enough. So we were trying to set traps, but not actually. We were giving them so much time to cover things off. So then the option, then we end up going back. And then before you know it, it's back at Davis and it's starting again. I think there were times, I think, thinking back, Burrows had a chance to take a first-time shot. It was
yes, he did, and he took a touch.
And he takes a touch, whereas I'm surprised in him because I thought he's the type of player, and particularly seeing his forms being on a bit of an upturn, that he didn't just take it. There were other times when it was just an extra touch here or an extra touch there, and seemingly not willing to pull a trigger, and then O'Hare goes and pulls a trigger and it goes out for a throw in, and you just knew it was going to be one of those games where it wasn't going to fall for us. We were lucky to be in front. I thought we were lucky with some of the refs' decisions as well. I think we could have. Yeah. Gyro could have maybe had a second yellow at one point. I think Tanganga, he could have been booked before he was. So we definitely got the rub of the green in that on that respect.
I suppose it's a bit deeper really, but is it a concern to you, the lack of killer instinct from us in this side? Do you think it's a squad issue in terms of, we've touched on it before, like no leadership and a lack of resilience? When you're at 1-0, we cannot defend a lead really, or we never look comfortable defending a lead, I should say, where we have done in seasons gone by. Are you sort of concerned about the mentality of the squad? And
no, and I think, all right, we're saying it was a really good strike, and I think the problem was he wasn't closed down in midfield. For me, I thought Bindon was our player of the match. I thought he was head and shoulders above. I thought he was fantastic. Yeah, agreed. So no, I don't think I'm concerned that we can't keep a lead. I mean, that was pretty much their chance, wasn't it? They had really, and that could just have easily. It's a good strike. He's got to hit it well, otherwise it's going wide, or it's over or straight at Adam Davis, who I also thought had a good game and did everything that should be asked of him.
I think that says it all. I think Davo was man of the. Sorry, I think Davo was the only one that got anywhere near Bindon for man of the match.
Yeah.
What we know that of them, and I think when your centre half and your goalkeeper at home against a bottom of the league side are your best two players on display.
Yeah.
And that tells you everything you need to know about that game.
I think we're talking about Femi, but I think even with Femi there, too many times I'm looking and seeing Brooks and Gus have stepped so far inside, and it happened with Burrows on the other side, that they've got the ball, and what's
There's
the option?
No option.
You know, getting a cross in is difficult with how they're being defended against, and there's nobody making that run. You know, O'Hare making a run for him to, or Gus making a run back that way for an overlap or anything. They just kind of ended up stood there going, "Oh, there's nothing on." So they're either fighting to protect the ball or the inevitable, right, it goes backwards and then it's sideways and it's back and forth. And I mean, it's just, for me, it was just a really boring game of football to watch.
It was bad, weren't it? It was bad.
Pointed that we weren't more positive in some of the play. We didn't take a few more risks with, you know, a quick ball here or, you know, a quick 1-2 or something. It was just very pedestrian.
I think West Brom was set up to facilitate that type of game. I think that I'm not saying that they came to just kill the game, part of the bus, whatever you want to call it.
A draw's a good result for them, though, isn't it?
It's a great result.
It was a great game plan from them.
It was.
And it frustrated us, and I just don't think we had enough ideas in possession. Like I said, slow and sideways was the way. None of our big players turned up in an attacking sense, and it was pedestrian at best at times. And I think that if you're a side that believes that promotion's coming, you know, I felt like two up top, when teams sit in, two up top kind of is, for me, what you almost have to do. I think one striker, when you're playing against a deep lying team like that, is I think you've got to have options to go
negative.
Direct. You've got to have options out when the ball goes wide to sling it in quickly, because you need to catch them on the up a little bit. And I think that the big lads in our team just didn't have enough about them on the day to figure that out.
Would you say, though, that we've had a style of play this season? I'm not convinced we have. I think we've had patterns that have worked at times. I think we rely on our good players doing the business rather than, like when we had the three. And you don't want to be predictable. You don't want to be somebody who another opposition team can read and predict how you're going to approach the game. But I don't think we've got a set way of playing. And I don't know. We've talked about Plan Bs under Wilder previously. I don't even know what Plan A is at the minute, to be honest. I think we've got good enough players and we just haven't been able to put it together. Are you lads looking now at next season already, or are you still invested in this season? Dave?
I am sticking with my taking one game at a time and enjoying it. Just enjoy being a fan, enjoy the games. And what will be will be.
We all want to enjoy it, Dave.
No, I know, but that's you're asking me what my approach to it is. I'm not. How can I look to next season, if that makes sense? Yeah, we don't know what we're going to look like. I can give you ideas of what I'd like to see in terms of the squad and what I'd like us to try and bring in, but. I don't want to lose the. I don't want to lose just the enjoyment of what football for me is about, and that's going and just enjoying watching it.
Paul,
I won't throw the towel in with 10 to go. I think that I think the trouble I have is the acceptance that we're not producing the performances that I think we're capable of as a team. We're not in those top end performances that you need to string a run of games of victories together. We're not producing that performance consistently enough for me. will be. I think I am excited about next season, but I will not be throwing the towel in with 10 to go. I think what I am is optimistic still until we can't do it anymore. I think until someone in that 6th spot takes the ball by the horns and wins 3 or 4 on the bounce, which could be it could be a Wrexham, it could be a Southampton, it could be a few sides. Until they do that, I am not finishing the season and saying we're absolutely done. After a performance like that, it's dead easy to go, it's done.
Yeah, it is easy. Yeah,
it weren't good enough. We've got a point against West Brom. In normal circumstances, we'd be like, yeah, okay, maybe we could have won, but actually, I think it was just the manner of the performance. I think there was a real lack of summit. There was definitely a lack of summit in the stands as well. It was very subdued, very quiet.
Yeah, it was.
It was deathly quiet. It was both sets of supporters. It was just.
Yeah, I thought the same. Thing is, you're right, Paul. In terms of if we go and turn Norwich over at Carrow Road, who've been playing well themselves, then football fans in general are fickle enough to be like, "Oh,
you'll be doing it. I can see it now."
I know, and it's ridiculous because
say was 4 points from them 2 games bad, and we'll go, "No, it wasn't," and then all of a sudden we're like, "Oh well, if we keep doing this and we win against Birmingham,
I know,
them because they're in between us." All of a sudden, we've got enough games now where I think we go into each game with an opportunity to. I still believe the best performance in this team beats most teams in this league.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And at that point, because of that, I still think that there's an opportunity. And like you say, what Dave's saying, if you treat each game as it comes and you have a good performances that nick you these wins against the sides in the middle, there's still 10 games. So when there's 4 games left and we're 9 points away, I'll go like, hands are up, we're done. Let's that's it. But I just still think there's 10 games. I think if we get to the other side of Wrexham, we get 7 or 9 points out of the next 3. We'll be looking at it again and thinking differently, won't we? We'll be optimistic again. So I think we just have to accept it was a pretty poor performance. We missed an opportunity on Saturday, but we go again on Wednesday, and if we win that and then we win at the weekend, then we're back on track, aren't we? So.
Okay. Let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried away.
I'm right, Anna. I'm right.
You are right.
I cannot pick a United result. How could you?
Well, that's what I'm going to ask you, actually. That's what I'm going to ask you. So, you've talked about, in usual circumstances, and I think you're right with this, in usual circumstances, a point against West Brom is not the end of the world. Yes, they're having a terrible season, but they're a championship stalwart, or they are at the moment. And it's one of them things, we let ourselves down more than anything else. Norwich are one of the form sides in the league, and we are going away to Norwich. In usual circumstances, a point would be a great result in this game. We can't afford to just take a point, I don't think. But if I offered you a point now, boys, would you take a point against Norwich at Carrow Road? No. No, because we can't. Not no, because it's a bad result.
I'm not taking a point off anybody now. I want us to go out and win, and wherever we end up, we end up.
Paul?
I'm not. You know me. I'm not going to. I'll never take a point before any game. I don't. What is the point of the point?
Okay.
A point.
1 point.
Okay.
That's your 1 point. Yeah.
Before I get into your score predictions and jump into comments. Before I jump into comments, I want to get your score predictions. That's probably what we're going to say. So, Paolo, what do you think the score's going to be on Wednesday night?
I think we're going to beat them 2-1.
You're a joke, honestly. Dave the Nose. Don't know. I'm just going to enjoy it. I just enjoy football. All right. I don't go to win. I just go to enjoy it.
Oh, I didn't say that. No.
Oh no, you didn't say that. I'm taking it too far there.
Out of order, Jim.
I think we draw.
1-0.
But I'm Mr. Negative out of the 3 of us at the moment, Anna. Which
we'll nick it 1-0.
Oh, do you know what, Dave? I'd love that. Do you want your favourite replica shirts for the World Cup? Check out okjersey.com. It's high quality jerseys starting from just £15. I love mine. From modern day shirts to the old classics that we all love. Use the code Ramble at the checkout to get 8% off your order. Get ready for the World Cup in style. And thank you to OK Jersey for their support of the Ramble. They can hear you. Well, adverts on. I don't know how to turn microphones off.
Can they really?
Well, I do, but it's a manual thing, and I think I'll forget to turn one back on or something like I did the other day. So, anyway, John starts us off in the comments by saying, "Hi, 3MB. Next year will be one of the most difficult years to get promoted." Well, you can't get promoted from Premier League, John, and according to Dave and Man Mountain, it's still on. You will have possibly 2 established Prem teams, Wolves and West Ham possibly, Spurs possibly, Forest possibly, plus Burnley, who've got 100 points, and Leeds 100 points. So I think it will be Wolves and Burnley. I think it might be Spurs as well. Can you imagine? Paul, I know you've got connections. What would that be like in the Mountain household if Spurs went down?
Oh, it'd be hilarious. It'd be it's
Be really, really funny. I can't wait to see if it happens. I will laugh so much.
Oh, no.
well. I said for Blades fans, I said it the other day, didn't I? I don't think there's any love lost between the sides at the bottom there who are the potential candidates to come down. So yeah, I don't think there's any love lost with any of those sides. So I think it is what it is. I think
Have we all against
the only
Tottenham?
thing with Spurs is, Jim, I think Spurs would steamroll the division because I think that they would go out of their way to actually improve their side and cash in on some deadwood, and they would walk the league and win nearly every game.
Yeah.
Whereas
You said that about Leicester.
I didn't.
I think they're more in the Newcastle coming down category where they came down with Rafa Benitez and walked it. I think that's more the level of Spurs.
They'll give out some good hidings at home, and it'll be just a bit silly. I think they'd retain a lot of talent that other sides wouldn't be able to. I think it'd just be a bit one of them. Forest coming down, I think that they'd lose a load of their players as well. I don't know what
Bindon.
The chairman would be a soap opera, wouldn't it?
Oh,
I think that would be quite funny. I think Leeds are no longer, although I was impressed with them the other day when they put the old team from last year out. They're really good. So that was interesting. But I think that they won't quite be the same as Spurs, and so I think Spurs would just walk the whole thing. So
here's one for you then.
Great way.
2 questions each. Same 2 questions to you both. Who do you want to come down, and who do you think will go down?
What you want the 3?
So Wolves and Burnley are a given, I think, because they're gonna come down. But who do you think will be the 3rd, and who do you want to be the 3rd?
It's too hard. That
I think I'll do it. I'll take the splinters out of my proverbial.
Wow.
I think Leeds will go down.
No, you don't. Do you really?
Yeah.
Jim, there's nothing in it. West Ham are on 28, Forest 28, Spurs 29, Leeds 31.
Leeds are playing well though.
Leeds 31, Jim.
Yeah, but right, they've been playing well, but they've been
They've not got win.
They could have done with picking up some points over the last 3 or 4 games. I think they could have a wobble.
I don't think Leeds will go down. You really?
Jimmy, there's nothing in it. West Ham are in relegation zone, go level with them on points.
This is why I sit on the fence, because I give you an answer and you go, you really think that? So I tell you what, I don't think anything.
So you think Leeds will go down? Who do you want to go down, Dave?
I want Spurs to go down because I think it's. I do. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And I agree. They will steamroller the league, and they'll probably they'll sell 5 players and probably have like 200 million or something to spend.
FFP is going to be ridiculous in it. And thing is, I mean, we're not going to be a parachute team next season, so we wouldn't really be shopping in the same market anyway. But can you imagine going toe-to-toe for a player with Spurs in the same league?
Oh, you're not, are you?
No other club is going to have a chance of signing. They will have their pick of every single player at our level.
I mean, I'm going off on a total tangent, but I think he's obviously talking about the difficulty there. I think if Wrexham don't go up this season, I think they're going to go for it big style in the summer. I think they'll be a force.
Come on, Paolo, who's your 2?
Here's my 2.
Who do you want to go down?
Who do you think's going down?
Who do you think will go down?
I think Spurs would be the most sensational thing of all. So I think that
You'd like them to go down just for the...
Sensational.
What a word. I'd
But-
never say it, but what a word.
but secretly, I think West Ham deserve to go down. And I wouldn't be upset about that.
No. We can't forget about West Ham, by the way.
I wouldn't be upset about that for 1 minute. I think obviously we've got our history with Leeds and Forest. I think that I'm quite hopeful that I think they're sides that I think deserve to stay up. In that's how I feel about it. I think West Ham have been dodging this little bullet for ages, and I think if they didn't have Jared Bowen, I think they'd be doomed by now. Anyway, I think
Well, it's Somerville, really, that's getting them out.
Well,
of
I
the ball, isn't it?
know Somerville's doing well, and it's took him a while to get going for West Ham. But I just
Think-
they've
So
been-
you'd like
Direct.
Spurs to go down, but you think West Ham will go?
yes, I do.
Come on, Jim. You don't get away with it.
I would like Spurs to go down, or Forest, but I think Forest will go.
You really? You think? You really?
Yeah, I
think-
do. I
you
do.
really think that?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
He's still
yeah.
sore from them podcasts he used to do with the Forest lads.
No. Yeah, I
Oh,
am actually. Yeah, I am. That's true.
It will.
Forgot about them.
I think some of the faces on there there'd be some clippable moments if they ended up going down on the last day, wouldn't there?
Oh, just for Marinakis. Can you imagine? Wow. John says 100 points with all with lots of money and resources, plus 2 to 3 teams will still with parachute payments. United can't afford any mistakes in squad choice, development tactics, or coaching to compete up the blades. Be positive. Batman Lou, live from Centre Parks, is messaging saying, "Evening, boys. Thank you for your messages. We're thinking about you, pal. I think we can look forward to next season and be thankful. They could have replaced Ruben with almost anyone, and it could have still gone south up the blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. It was a big ask to get to the playoffs from where we were, and with a little more luck, we might have. We'll be back. Core of the squad is strong." So Lou appears to be in my camp where it's let's draw a line and go again next season. So that's 2-2, I think, now, because you two boys haven't given up on it yet, have you? Which is good. Which is a good thing. It's positive. It's positive.
I thought Lou was positive.
Lou is positive.
He
He's one of the best additions to this channel we've had for ages, mate. He's a real top man, and
Love that.
wish him all the best.
Well said, mate. Well said. I love that. Chariot says, too early to give up yet. Plenty of teams dropping points, and we still have to play those in the race. A big ask, but not impossible. Consistency and doing the right things at the right time is key. I always talk about, particularly post-match, when I come on and I do 90 after 90, and we talk to fans. We literally talk to fans, and then we talk to fans in the comments as well. And it's a bit of a therapy session, particularly if we've lost, or just sort of levels us out a little bit. I was fine, absolutely fine. I'm fine, like Ross fine with our season being done, and I'd sort of come to terms with it. And then I come on a stream with you two, and all of a sudden you've got me. You've cracked the door open again. Of look, Jim White. There's 10 games to go. There's 30 points to play for. We play Wrexham. Wrexham play Hull tomorrow night, and all these sort of things. Why am I now leaning back in towards? Oh, actually, getting a little bit jiggy again. You know what I mean? Getting
A little bit shaky. A little bit
don't get nervous. I get really shaky. You know what I mean? It's one of them. So thanks, lads.
Jiggy, lads. Bit jiggy, or not?
Put steady on, King Julian. See comment above for my thoughts exactly. Good evening, 3MB, Mr. V. Which comment above? That could be any, to be honest. Game at a time, says Dempsey. Up the blades. Yeah, that's the nose method, as it's now known. Alan with a £3 super chat. Dave, do you want to read this one?
Jim lad.
Onwards and upwards next season. Aha. Thank you, Al. Very much appreciated, pal. I will continue to do that if you keep being so kind as to donate. Thank you, my mate. Maniac76 Hector says, hello, Blades. Unfortunately, as a neutral, I think your season is run. You need to gear up for the next season. Finishing as high up will help attract better players. Winning games is what you need to do. Again, that is along Dave's line of thinking as well, I think, isn't it? Not compromising at any stage. Go with your strongest team for every game. build that winning mentality and that culture around the club. Fair enough. Thank you, Maniac Hector. Play up Sky Blues, he says. Yes, a good season you boys are having indeed. Al says, do wish Blades all the best for next season, Jim. Only 2 games. I can't when Blades meet my team, which is Wolves. I didn't know you were a Wolves fan, Al. All right, okay. Yeah, we'll see you next season, pal. And I think they'll go really well, by the way.
Wolves as well, doing their fans really proud towards the end of the season. I know it's a little bit too little too late, but it's good to see them have a bit of fight because it's been a bit dismal this season.
They're having a go, and I think they'll go really well next season. I do. I think they'll be strong.
It depends what they keep. It kind of depends who they keep.
I think they could do a clear out, to be honest, and then it's how they build again, isn't it? Really, but I think the culture and the money behind the club as well that you have to build. It's a little bit like what we're trying to do, isn't it, I suppose. On the Luke Faxon thing, says Sheffield United FTV. I'd give him a go when it's mathematically impossible to get to the playoffs and let Davo fight for another contract. Gaz says playoffs are out of reach, in my opinion. Yes, let's win as many as we can before the end of the season, but the season is over. Plans behind the scenes can start now for another season in the Championship. We need to look at who is likely to leave and look at potential replacements.
I think we'll be doing that regardless.
Yes, we will. That's true.
And how many of those you're actually able to properly engage at this stage, I'm not so sure.
Tom says, Tom Sassy, it should probably be, rather than Saxby. It says, Jimmy, can you get onto OK Jersey and ask why all the Sheffield United kits are blue and white? They're not. We've got them pulled. Don't worry about that. They're supposed to be uploading some actual Sheffield United kits, but it no longer takes you to a Sheffield Wednesday page. Thank the Lord. Dave Morwood says, evening 3MB. Woke up in time, up all the rambles, up the blades, up the positive 6. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you, my mate. Chris says, we've been inconsistent to make the playoffs. The defence has been shaky all season. Shaky, you know what I mean? Tanganga, not the player I expected, to be honest. We miss Robbo.
He should stop reading that. Oh, dear.
Jack says, I get a feeling Wilder has a problem with Sariki. Not sure why. Martin says, evening, guys. Playoffs gone, but never say never. It's a funny old game. Brand says, I do think Wilder is unnecessarily hard on Femi. Seems like he makes one mistake and he's out of the team. Other players get chance after chance. It's the first proper season, his first proper season in the team. I, of course, love Peck, but he's made mistakes under Wilder, yet I don't see him being dropped. Thoughts on that, lads? Dave the Nose? You really know?
Good point. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes as that. So it's tough, innit? It's really tough. He does feel like he does get singled out, but maybe, players are different, like we all are as people, and some people get the best out themselves by being kicked, and some get the best out themselves with the arm around the shoulder. And maybe he's the type of character who needs a little bit more of that tough love.
So give him a kicking is what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean, but
some do, and some sportsmen will openly say that they need that.
And you'd back Wilder to be a good judge of character on that, wouldn't you? I mean, from what we know of him.
Yeah.
It's always a gamble then when it backfires like it appeared to do on Saturday. Okay, so Cooler King says, evening Mardy's, how much more prize money is there per finishing position? I.e., how much is the difference between 13th and 8th? Don't know, actually. Don't know. It's something we will have to look into. If anybody wants to Google it while we're on, they can do. Doug says, how many players move on and their quality shows? Maybe we need to look at fitness, coaching, management, and the players' positions on the pitch. Players never seem to play well for us. And as soon as they leave, they score for fun. Just a thought. Up the blades, up all the rambles. Like and subscribe. This was a good point raised also by James 3D last night on Countdown to Kickoff. And it was more around the fitness levels of players and not being able to last the full 90, or certainly going full tilt for the full 90. And I think there's definitely a conversation to be had there. I don't know whether you boys agree with that or not. I think Paul's having a little look for prize money. But Dave, any thoughts on the fitness of the players? Is that still a concern?
A little bit. Certainly some, more than others.
Yeah. Campbell?
Yeah, although, great to see him, sprinting
Yes, it was.
sprinting back.
Rothwell don't look fit to me.
No, but then he's
He's
off
not played,
it.
has he?
He hasn't played very much, and I think we are probably. You think back to the Leeds time, and you're expecting him to come back in and be that player. And look what I know. It's a different scenario in that Blast has been injured, but Blast has been out for 13 months, and he's taking a long time to get back to the level. And maybe we've got to give some of these a little bit more. We said the same when Bamford came, didn't we? We were, a few of us, and I'll hold my hands up, was expecting Bamford to take a little bit of time to get back up to speed, and he managed to do it a lot quicker than that. So I'll forgive Rothwell for being a little bit off it. But yeah, maybe you could say in a few cases a little bit not able to keep that intensity level up. And injuries seem to plagued us for years.
Yes, they do, mate. They do. That's very fair. Liam says, "Evening, lads. Hope you're all well. Going back to a comment I made on last night's countdown to kickoff. We need wingers. This is where we lack, in my opinion. If you look at the top teams who have gone up, all have 4, 2 starters, 2 backups. We miss that power and pace. Someone who can cut in or go to the byline, good with both feet. This is an area that needs addressing. If Brooks stays, we need 3. If he goes,
That's
4.
We
have to go get Mikey Johnston. Was doing some research last night. Man off in his last year and not getting in at Stoke. Cleary is a shout too, but not sure if he'll be another Barry. Up all the rambles, like and subscribe. I think it's a really good point. I think it leans into me as to, are we going to stick, because that is the way to go. If we're going to stick with this wing system, we need wingers. You can't play a wing system with 1 winger in your squad, which is what we've got. So we either commit to it and bring the right players in to play the system, or you play the system that benefits the players that you've got. And I think at the minute we're playing a 4-2-3-1 to accommodate Gus and Callum O'Hare in the same side. Other than that, it'd be a 4-4-2, I think. If Gus or Cal is available, or one isn't available is probably the better way to say it, we usually go to a 4-4-2. So we're playing the system to suit those 2 players, and really, I'm not sure. What do you think? Any thoughts on the recruitment planning for next year, Dave? I know you've sort of said.
I think there's maybe an argument of saying that the reason that we're doing that with the shoehorning them in, I know we did last season, but that I think a lot of that would have been addressed in the summer had Wilder stayed.
Yeah.
And I think he's having to adapt things to try and get the best out of the team with what he's got. And if you look at if you take the start out of it and forget, take the recency bias out of the West Brom game, largely we've been, compared with last season, as an attacking threat, we've been far better. But I think Liam makes a point that I think you'll struggle to find a fan who doesn't agree that we are missing somebody who really frightens a fullback. I mean, properly, like, gets from a pace perspective and can knock it past them. And I think we've relied on the link up between Brooks and Femi rather than necessarily. You don't see Brooks pick it up just inside our half and really go and terrify him very often. Certain fullbacks we have, but I'm not so sure that other teams look and go, we need to stop him. I think they go, we need to stop them.
Yeah. Paul, I know we've talked about not really looking too far ahead at the moment, but I agree with you. I think it's a good point from Liam in terms of having half an eye on next season. If we're going to continue in this vein, we need players better suited for the system that we're currently playing.
I feel like it's a recipe that has been adopted in the Premier League. I think Leeds United last season are the best example of how it can work.
Yeah,
with Dan James and Solomon and
worked for Burnley as well, though, didn't it? With Benson and Edwards and Anthony.
Benson and Edwards, yeah.
Benson and Edwards,
back of a fag packet.
Yeah.
But no, it's. I think it's an example of how it could work. I think the Leicester wide men used correctly could have been a good thing this season. But I think it's a great point Liam makes. Actually, I think we've been saying it, and we haven't really visited it for a while. There is a bit of a lack of width, and that 1v1 ability. I think in fairness to Brooks, when he's played with Sariki, I think they do pose that.
He's kicked on, hasn't he, Brooks? He's really kicked on.
He's kicked on, but I feel like they need each other because Brooks does give Femi the ball when he needs it. Femi gives the defender something else to think about because they're scared to death of him 1v1.
Yeah,
which means that Brooks can then go in on his left foot. And then the final bit has been brilliant at times from Brooks, but it's also been inconsistent as well. So it's I think Brooks had a really good season, and I don't want to dampen it, but we definitely need something a bit different. I think Gus for all the clever player he is, I love him as a football player. I think he does dictate how we play a little bit in terms of he has got that quality. He can ping the ball, but I think he slows us down in attack sometimes. When he gets played to feet, he likes to obviously open his body and see the picture and then try and thread, which is great when it works. It's super, but when it don't work, it's that, like you said, that scary pace that some players can give you that just drop the whole team off and give other players space around them as well. It was a good point when I was speaking to Rich Carrington about the game. He was saying about how Brooks they did a right job on him. How they basically doubled up on him, stopped him. They recognised him as the threat, and I just felt like he needed his mate around him a little bit more to give him that.
You'd still fancy Brooks and Sariki 2-on-2, wouldn't you, against them two?
Yeah. I think you would. I think that was part of my point. I think our main threat which is that right hand side for me, was nullified really well by West Brom. I thought they did a good job of keeping Brooks quiet. And I think when you haven't got Femi in the team, it makes it a bit easier for him.
Yeah, that's fair. Sim says, evening Blades chaps, I'm hopeful we'll get 8th place. The club gets a fair bit of prize money compared to where we were, and next season every pound will count. Did you manage to find out, Paul, while you were looking?
In truth, Jim, there's not a lot of coverage on it. They reckon they get about 11 million basic from the television, and then they just talk about the playoff game and the promoted sides and how much it's worth to them. There's no like positional breakdown. I think it was more of a thing in the Prem. I think the Prem prize money was, I think it was like millions per position, wasn't it?
A couple of million, I think.
I don't think it's anything like that, and I think that's why they don't really talk about it.
You could probably say it's probably about a tenth, couldn't you? If not less than that. So 200 grand a position.
It's nowhere near that kind of figure. So it might be a couple of $100 grand maybe or something. But
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not thinking it'll be $500,000 even. I don't think it'll be $500,000 really.
Just look at who the Owls have still got to play, says Glenn, and then you'll know who's got an easy running, I suppose, is what he means. Todd says it's done. We need to win 9 now. Gaz says we have the ability to beat anyone. However, we are too inconsistent. I agree with that. Ray says, I missed the live game due to an exploding tyre. Yes, you did, mate. I remember you saying on 90 after 90, but saw the highlights and I thought we were unlucky. Just didn't get the rub of the green. I'm looking forward to next season. We will challenge. Nice. Liam says, I know Paul has mentioned this about the wingers. We lack, and I agree, 1,000,000%. Leeds had 4, Burnley did. Cov have, Middlesbrough have. We have Brooks and then Chong and Ogbenny. Yes, just wondered if you all agreed about the wingers or not, lads. Yes, we've spoken about that, Liam, and we do, mate. Nath says, it's harder having Leicester, Oxford, West Brom than top teams having come up and open, or the mid-table ones with nothing to play for. If we drew at QPR and beat West Brom, wouldn't seem as bad. Not a bad way to spin it, I suppose. If you offered me where we are now back in November with a very slim chance of the top 6 with 10 to play, I would have snapped your hand off. We looked doomed to be a West Brom or a Leicester situation. Very well said, Nath, and I think that's a very good way of looking at it. That's sort of my way of looking at it. Self-preservation. Let's look at the positives. Top 2, as long as Chris is given the time. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles, like and subscribe, says Raymondo. No, this season is a bridge too far, but I still want to win every game and finish as high as we can. Thom says, evening lads, I love mine. Oh, you're killing me, mate. You're killing me. Chris says, fed up hearing about the pigs in the away end at Derby. All they were doing is singing about the mighty Blades. Chariot says, Leeds finished the season at West Ham. We want the weakest team down. Forget our off the pitch beef. Oh yeah, but still, Tottenham in Championship. It writes itself, and everybody had loved that. To be fair, everybody had loved seeing Tottenham. It's one of them, isn't it? Who do you honestly think goes in the summer, lads? I think we've talked about this last week, haven't we? Really, I think it's up to any of 4. I don't think we'll lose 4. I think in most likely to leave, this would be my opinion, Hamer, Peck. I think it probably stops there, but I think we could sell Brooks or Sariki and then other one. So it'd be Brooks, Sariki or Sariki Brooks. Probably Sariki Brooks in terms of demand. So I would say Hamer's most likely, then City. I don't think we'll sell more than that, but next in line would be Femi and Brooks to go. And I think they're the danger of players that we don't want to sell, Liam, as it stands. But I think that's who might go. And with Man Mountain, West Ham to go down, and let's all laugh if they do. Andrew says, when Chris believes the season is run, I think he should blood Faxon and see if Hjelde is worth a punt. Most of all, we need to get signings in early for a change to start quickly. I agree with that as well. I would love to see Hjelde get a decent few minutes under his belt. I think it would be harsh on Burrows, and Burrows hasn't had the full season because of his poor early season form. But Hjelde's looked really neat and tidy whenever I've seen him. I really like the look of him. Not seen enough of him.
Don't think we sign him, though.
You don't think we sign him?
No.
But wouldn't... Well, I know the argument is we've got McCallum coming back, isn't it? But can you see him as a left centre-half?
We haven't played him there, has he? He's not given him a shot yet.
No, he hasn't. But he's not going to, is he, while Binden's there?
I think if we can't get Binden permanently, I think we'll go for a pretty strong centre back. I think
the strong centre back. You think we go for the cave troll?
Well, I think he's got to play before the end of the season for us to go for him.
I think he'll fall onto Wilder's short list, and whether that's a smart thing to do or not, I don't know. Because we'd all want the Harry Souttar of old, won't we? But he tends to have these long-term targets, doesn't he? That he does not shake. And I think Harry Souttar is on that list at the moment.
We got Harry Souttar back that was with us before his injury. Then nobody is going to be in the slightest bit disappointed. Absolutely right, mate.
I'd love to sign him, but you still don't really know what you're getting, do you? Look at Arblaster. I think he's prime example this season, unfortunately. Pat says, I've only just joined the stream, so I'm watching back from the start. Not sure if this has been mentioned, but I think the lack of leaders on the pitch is really affecting us. Tanganga is hardly leading by example. 3 ex-Leeds players all sent off. Hamer booked for stupid indiscipline on almost a weekly basis. Need I go on? I agree with Jimmy that Peck is the most worthy, but it's an indictment, or indictment if you're under the blade, that one of the youngest seems the best option. It was a mantra of Wilder's coming out of League One to get captains overall, and now we seem to have no leaders. I agree with this. I agree. I think we need more leaders on the pitch. I think that has to be part of the recruitment strategy, that they're at least strong characters that can stand up in the face of and weather the storm of difficult games and have a little bit of nous about them. They don't have to be old, because Peck is a prime example of somebody I think that can lead. But I think we need stronger characters. I think there's too many that roll over.
We talk about Bamford sending off, and I think that was a little bit... that's a different story, because it was the second yellow for the simulation, wasn't it? I think Bamford is... I can see him as a leader within the group. I'd give the armband to Gyro personally.
I think that'd be a great... I think I mentioned that as well myself, actually, the other night. As an understated leader, I think it's a really smart option.
He was getting so frustrated on Saturday with him, and I think he would set those standards.
I think he sets a nice, cool tone as well. Yeah. I don't just mean cool as in...
No, he's calm, isn't he?
Subscribe to Blade Ramble.
Influence.
Yes, he
won't
is, yeah.
Let us get dragged into these silly scraps. And yeah.
Agreed, mate. I think that's fair. Jord Motson, the man on the mic, says, evening, gents. It's done for me, and I'm comfortable with that. If you offered me this when Wilder Reed took over, I'd have snapped your hand off. Just enjoy every game now. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man, mate. Chris says, I bumped into a couple of Blades in Steel Foundry Pub, and they both said Wilder will be gone within 10 games next season. I don't think he will after sacking him this year. I don't think so either. Christine says, it was an absolutely awful game to watch on Saturday. I was totally deflated watching us play bottom of the league, West Brom. But we have Wilder, so all I can do is hope he gives them a right telling off. It's the only optimism I have. I think they will have had a right telling off, to be honest, Christine. Mr. V says, I want West Ham to get relegated because I'm still peeved about the Tevez shenanigans, and we're still in with a chance of making the playoffs. Just take it one game at a time and get some consistency. Cooler King says, people thought the Villa would walk the championship when we were relegated. We were down there 3 seasons and never finished higher than 4th. Very good point, my mate. Chris says, evening guys, great show. After Saturday's performance, does anyone think there could have been a massive fallout on the training pitch? That's the only explanation I can come up with. I think it's being looked into a little bit too deeply, to be honest. Paul?
I think it was just a subdued performance. I don't feel like conspiracy theories are worthwhile. I think that performance has been in us.
We've seen it before this season, haven't we, as well, unfortunately? I'd say Southampton away were a similar type of performance.
Yeah, that's the point. It's, like I said, symptomatic of the division. Anyone in the middle of that league has been doing that all season. So I think it's... I won't be subscribing to any theories. I'll be subscribing to the Blades Ramble, but none of those theories. So...
Nice, mate. Nice. Dave Morwood says, if Dave thinks Femi needs a kick in, Calvin could do it. Yeah, that's probably true. Truth Over Lies says, hello from an Owls fan. I've just come to gloat. Oh, my word. Please. Sure, we're going down, but we'll always be bigger than you, Blades. Well, thank you for subscribing, because you've had to wait 5 minutes to say this. And I cannot tell you how ridiculous you sound that you are coming to gloat at us when you are going to finish on the lowest points total ever. You are the team earliest to ever get relegated from an EFL division. You are the worst championship side to ever play at this level, and you are coming on to gloat. Oh my! Thank you for your subscription.
Don't be nibbling on that, Jim.
Thank you for your subscription.
Mind a nibble. He's had a full blown.
We will cherish it. We will cherish it, and we will see you. When will we see him?
When will I see you
again?
Sorry,
when
everyone.
will we share precious moments? Well, we won't. We won't.
How long is it since they beat us in a derby? Just last thing I want to say. I can't remember it. Can you? Do you remember?
Were it League One?
Oh, I don't know.
2012.
It was a massive amount of time. I know that. A massive.
Same place they're heading. Were it League One? I think
it was a massive amount of time. Moving on. Moving on.
Terry T says, hi lads, hope you're all well. I was down on Saturday, but then thought if we'd won on Saturday at a draw with Norwich on Wednesday, I would have thought that was okay. So if we beat Norwich, it's the same points. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. It's not how you get there, is it? It's about the points that you can gather, I suppose. Dave Robbo Jr. says, I was upset by the lack of trying by the team. I don't mind being beat, but I expect full effort. What has happened to set plays? Earlier this season, we had some set plays. Recently, we just seemed to hoof it in the box. West Brom cleared every corner. Please like and subscribe. It costs nothing. Thank you, Dave. You're absolutely right. I think our set pieces have deteriorated this season, it's fair to say. I think we were very effective early season, as Dave says. Paul, would you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. I thought they were dreadful on the weekend. Yeah, I just thought there was no method to it, and it was a bit sad to see because it was something that was becoming a real weapon.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And it's just sort of dropped off. Like you said, it was nothing really worked. Let's not over egg it. Nothing really worked on Saturday, and we move on. We go again.
A great message from Debs here, and I think it's... In fact, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that till the end because we're nearly at the end of the comments. Dave Morwood says, against Norwich, Hurdle... Hjelde, I think that's going to be with a with a spell check. He's going Hjelde at left back, Burrows on the left wing. That's what I went for on Countdown to Kickoff, to be honest. Kev only had sound and no faces. That's probably the preferred way to watch us, to be honest, Kev. I think most will say. But audio only, is it just me? And then Chris says, no, I've got pictures. And it's okay now for Kev, which is good to know. Do we go for Kyle Walker, says Day One? I think we probably do. Would you, lads? Would you, is the question, I suppose. Would you, and do you think we do? Paul?
Well, I asked him, didn't I, the other week?
So did I.
About 3 times.
I did as well. Did you? I didn't know you'd asked him.
Yeah, I'd asked
Because
him.
I asked him too. What did he say to you?
Well, one of the times he said he was more. One of the times he was more optimistic than the second time where he said, "Oh, we'll have to wait and see" or something. It was all a bit cryptic, but no, I think it's he turned up to the game, didn't he? I think it's
it's happening, mate.
Option.
I think it's happening. I think it's happening. Davey boy.
Yeah.
Do you want it? And if you had it, would you flaunt it?
Yeah.
Jim, you're such
Do you remember that? Do you want it as well, Paul?
Yeah, Kyle Walker every day.
He
Yeah.
always wants
That's
it.
Championship level.
Kyle Walker again. Ole, ole. Absolutely right.
Oh,
Do you want it, sir? Yes, mate.
how did you get on in the hotel after the game with City?
I didn't go to the hotel after the
Did
game.
he not come and meet you like you invited him?
Oh yeah. Let's not start spreading malicious rumours.
Look, I'm just saying what you said.
I'm going to need to explain myself now. So City's walking in, and I said, "City hotel after the game," and he went, "Ha ha ha ha." So and Dave was like, "Did you just ask him back to the hotel?" Like, no, not in that context. It was for the after party, and you know that, Dave. So let's move on.
I didn't say it. I'm just repeating what you said.
You're an absolute.
And
joke.
if I'd have said that, you would have been running on here. Can't wait to say to everybody.
I wouldn't do that to you. I won't do that
I've
to
got a
you.
whole nickname off the back of it.
Your nickname will live in infamy now. Are you going to be 3 Mardy Blades next season when we're winning the league? No, we're not going to be Mardy when we're winning the league next year, but we'll still be here. Good shout, Gyro, for captain. Tanganga is not the one, says Ray. Mark Meldrew. Coming into Glow, bugger off, you're honking on -7. Deary me. Owls are bigger than us. Been cheating local businesses out of cash. It's not the first time. The co-op had to bail them out, and now Ashley's coming to the rescue. Shame on you. Absolutely right, Raymondo. Nath says, just a point on Brooks. Why does he never go on the outside of the defender because he's left-footed? Occasionally just keep them off guard. Everything is come inside to traffic, especially against the low block. I have seen him go around the outside on the odd occasion. I think he does mix it up 1 in every 20. But
I see you, Mr. Mountain. I see you.
Come on, what are you saying?
Nothing.
What are you saying?
I thought you were breaking into Eminem for a sec there, but never mind.
Breaking what?
Break into an Eminem song there. That's all.
Oh.
Missed the trick. You missed the trick.
Oh, round
mate.
the outside. Oh, I did miss a trick. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself. Listen, we are going to end the stream now, but the last comment of the day goes to Deb. And hi, Jimmy, Dave the Nose, and Man Mountain, remembering our star man today on what will be his 33rd birthday. So, yeah, a very poignant way to end, and it's not to bring the mood down at all. It's just to remember what a man, what a player, what a legend at Sheffield United that boy is and will always be. And I know he's endeared at other clubs that he's played for as well, and that's fine. We can share him, but he's our star man. So, yeah, happy birthday to George. Love goes out to his family and friends, which it's always going to be a difficult day for them. And yeah, we miss you, and boy, could we do with you right now. I know Femi Sariki's playing well, but give me a George Baldock on that right-hand side every day. Lads, any thoughts?
I think. Sorry, the fact that he's 33. I
know.
I think that's the.
It's the shocker, isn't it?
I mean, it just goes to show you we should be really thankful and really happy. And this is footy, and bigger things than footy happen every day. And
absolutely right.
Just to make the most of every chance you get to go and do something, because it's just it's a gift, isn't it? So you got to go and take advantage while you can.
Well said, mate. And we've also had someone very close to us as well lose someone over the last couple of days. It's again, not to end on a sour note, but how can you not? In terms of, I think it just sends a message that you should keep your loved ones close and live for today, shouldn't you? Really, and not take anything for granted. So, yeah, give your kids a squeeze, give your wife a kiss, and if you can catch her, and Dave, anything else you would like to say?
He's having a minute to himself there. He's like, ah.
It's true though, isn't it? It's
It's
more
like
important things than
Chapman,
football,
isn't it?
isn't there? More important things than football.
He did
He's coming
smell
off
incredible.
He did smell incredible. And on that note, what else can you say? But come on, you red and white wizards.
Sleep easy, Starman.